Hi everyone, welcome to a video for day 3 of Punchestown Festival. I'm sure you agree we had a pretty good day today in terms of the horses that we picked. We got the likes of Champagne Fever, which run an absolute screamer, amongst others. The other Willie Mullins, which won the bumper. Also, Marsonian tipped up as an each way shout, which won at 14 to 1. So no, all in all, we can't really complain about today. Just a brief one for tomorrow because it's very, very tough at the moment. Obviously, with the weather the way it is now and whether it'll be on or not is the gamble in itself. So sort of going through the card, what I've actually done is picked out my main fancies for tomorrow, purely because it's going on heavy going at this time of year. In a place that's cut up as much as Punchestown is at the moment, especially at the end of the season, is deadly. So what I'm going to do is very, very, very brief overview on all of these different races, but then give them the main bets on what we're going to do here. So the first one I'm looking at is in the 340, and the horse is Torfino Bay. Been running well all season, just got caught late home by Get Me Out of Here last time, so he's my idea of a winner in that opening race there. Very hard to make a compelling argument for the other ones. There was Zardsky in that one as well for Tom Doyle on board. He's been running great, but ran a bit off form last time. Behind my Murphy, run with credit today. So keep an eye out for that. In the 415, the horse I like to look up here is Senior again. He's been running very well all season and run very well at Ferryhouse last time in third behind Lucky William. It just wasn't soft enough for him. I think this heavier going will be a lot better. So I can see him going very close in that race. The 450 is the big cross-country race there. And it's worth having a look at Uncle Junior, who was massively fancied at Cheltenham before being outpriced 3 out. That one there, the excuse made was that the weather wasn't soft, the ground wasn't soft enough for him, so Uncle Junior could run a very good race there. As could Outlaw Pete, who's been doing great guns in point to point. Clearly stays, and he's gone well over the course before, so you can make a very compelling argument for him. I think he could go very well indeed. Next race after that is the feature of the day, which is the 530, and you can't look any further than Quevega for me. Brilliant at Cheltenham last year. She won this race. The going won't be any problem. The step up and trip is no problem. And I fancy her to actually beat Voler Le Vedette. Voler Le Vedette technically has got better form being so close to big bucks. So I think even though it was a great ride, a good effort, and a really good performance, it must have taken a lot out of her to get that close. The softer ground not necessarily guaranteed to help her as much. And when she got beat odds on earlier in the season, the problem was there was not really much pace, and she couldn't quicken. Quevega, we've seen no pace, and she can still quicken. So I think Quevega will get the better of Valera Vedette there. Interesting one as well is the consistent Get Me Out of Here stepping up in trip, though he hasn't gone great on heavy in the past, and he has had a long old season. He's had 5 difficult runs, but you could see him certainly run a big race. Also worth a shout out because of the form in particular for Mikel Dagenet, the Willie Mullins second string technically, even though he's a great horse in his own right. He was beaten miles out at Cheltenham by big bucks, but he does need soft going. Also, a horse who had tipped up a little bit, which he could look each way, was One in the Dark, who I said could run a big race by behind big bucks at Aintree, and he was before he got brought down. If he goes on the soft going, 50 to 1 on him could be a very big price indeed. Moving on then to the, just going through the list here, the 605. And the horse I actually like the look of here is Slew Charm, who basically came third at Fairyhouse. She was returning to form, and the rider's claim here is a big plus, and it should be a decent price, and I think she can run another big race here. She's been largely inconsistent all season, generally not performing the way she would matter, but came, as I said, third of 24 and was staying on more towards the end. So I get the impression that the better going might really play to the advantage here. Another horse to mention who had tipped up and got placed at Fairyhouse was Novarov, who got beaten 2 lengths in the same race by Did He Go Out There? And yeah, it was a good race, but I don't think the softer going will benefit this horse as much as maybe Slew Charm. So I think they're 2 to have a look at. Also worth looking at that one was Kathleen for Willie Mullins and Ruby Walsh. Kept on 1 pace over 2 mile at Fairyhouse. Clearly needed further, so I think the step up and trip will go right up his street there. So I could see him running a big race. The 640 is the 2 mile novice chase. The favourite here is Menora. whose jumping seems to have suddenly come right to the fore in the last two races. Beat the step up and trip seemed to benefit at Aintree and obviously run a good race at Cheltenham when came third. The worry is there is that jumping issue, and I just don't know if it's going to surface again. And currently, I'm looking at the odds here: 13 to 8 best price. You're going to have to be a pretty risky player to go and take that. First Lieutenant is the second favourite, but he just seems to need every ounce of 3 miles. So whether this step back to 2 mile will suit him, I really don't know. But the going will have no worries for him really there. Lucky Williams been running well, but to be honest with you, it's not been in as good a quality as this. And once again, I don't know about the soft going. Interesting one for me here could be Cumbershwar. He goes well on soft ground. 2 miles seems to be his trip. The worry is it was a very lacklustre effort behind Edgar du Sol, who subsequently flopped it there. So, he's interesting, but whether he's that good, I really, really don't know. It's hard to make a statement for any of these because of what it is, really, which is, if we're going to look at it, it's an average novice chase compared to what we've had. If we're going to have a bet, though, I think First Lieutenant, even though he's a 3 miler run over two, the ground is bottomless, and you can't stress how bottomless it is at Punchestown. So what you'd be looking for there is him to go out and maybe make it a real test and put the jump in under pressure for Manora, and if that happens, then anything could happen there. We've then got the final, which is the another bumper. Punchestown love bumpers, don't they? No wonder they have such a good record, Ireland in the champion bumper. Interesting one here is Booker's Bridge for Henry de Bromhead. Won on soft last time out. Maydall travelled on and stayed all the way to the line. 2 mile two in the soft, so drop to 2 mile wouldn't be a problem. Soft isn't a problem, and could see it going very well indeed. Another interesting one is God of the Cop as well, trained by Rebecca Curtis, bringing her over, who run at Foss last and won in heavy by 19 lengths, just keeping on and on and on. Once again, going will be perfect for it, and both of these race prominently, so you can see both of these getting a very good run for the money here because they're going to race up there, and they go on the going. So I think that's the most important part of what we've got here. If we're going to look at other ones as well who run very similar, is Ted Veal. And the interesting part for Ted Veal here was he only got beaten 4 lengths in heavy by Moseltop, who got placed in the better bumper than this today. So on a line of form through that, you would have to say that Ted Veal has got a very good chance. If I was assessing this race, though, I think the things you should be looking for is Booker's Bridge, God of the Cop, and Ted Veal. So, as I said, I'm going to as much depth because it's very, very hard, as I said at the moment. But there, what I'll be doing in the opener, if I was having a bet, Tolfino Bay will take a lot of beating, I think. 4:15, the horse I like to look of is Senior again. I think the going will be right for him. In the 4:50, the cross country, Outlaw Pete and Uncle Junior both seem to have everything going for them. In that race, 5:30 I'm due for Corvega, and if you're looking for an each way play, definitely get me out of here. He's very tough to kind of full sword. In the 6:05, which is the Stayers hurdle, as I said, that's going to be a tough race to pick anyway. The two against the field I'd be there is Slew Charm and Novrov, both got a similar line of form. Slew Charm in particular, I think the going has come more to his liking, so I can see him actually reversing the form. With the other, with Novrov there. In the novice chase, I wouldn't be playing in it, but First Lieutenant, if he goes, I know he's a 3 miler, but he could get his own way up front and really go for home, which could help. And then in the concluding bumper, Booker's Bridge, God of the Cop, Ted Veal are the three to focus on. I really couldn't tell you who I think will come first, second, and third there, because the going is that bad. But to be honest with you, it's not a bad idea to pick a couple of them maybe, because you should be getting some good prices, maybe even a couple of twist forecasts around that. Okay, just so you know, the chases were abandoned today, and they're expected to be run on Saturday. So if that's the case, when I do my video for Saturday on Friday, I think it will be, it's Thursday tomorrow, isn't it? Yeah, then I'll obviously go over them again, because the going change could make a lot of difference. Okay, thanks for watching, and speak to you again soon. Many thanks, bye.